Hi, good evening, race fans. How are we doing on a beautiful Wednesday night here at Off-Road Speedway? I'd like to welcome everybody to the Haase Tribute Race. $3,500 to win in your IMCA late models. Also running hobby stock car, sport mods, pro stocks. And of course, we'll have the Midwest Classic stock cars on hand with us tonight. So a big thanks for everybody coming out here tonight. Some of our sponsors tonight: Norfolk Iron and Metal, Bauer Underground, Stealth Broadband, Norfolk Diesel Repair. And we want to thank all of our great sponsors you see lined up down the front stretch. Hope everybody has a great holiday plan for tomorrow. Want to thank Stealth Broadband, the U.S. military, POW, Thin Line, etc. They have some new flags for us, as you can see them along the front stretch there. So we appreciate them. If you didn't see it on the way in, we do have Ray Haase's race car from the 1950s over there. Kind of a racing truck, I guess, before truck racing was actually a thing. So we appreciate them for bringing that out. All right, we've got a special at the bar tonight. Blue Raspberry Jello shots, Fruit Punch Jello shots, and Oozy Bears. All $2. So make your way down there and get yourself some nice shots. We just please ask that you do drink responsibly. And we have some late models on the Speedway making some time trial. Making some hot laps there. Some more IMC late models making their way onto the Speedway for some hot lap sessions. Got Slick up there in the 07 machines. Ben Sukup over there in the 07 going down the back straightaway at this time. Out there for some hot lap sessions. The 56D, he comes to us from Sterling, Illinois. Travis Denning in the 56D from Sterling, Illinois, making the pull all the way out here. We appreciate him, the miles, and the crew for coming out. As it looks like it's time for your Sport Mod hot lap sessions. Couple quick announcements real quick. The Northeast Nebraska Motorsports Hall of Fame are going to be doing a drawing. Make sure you get down there and get a raffle ticket. They'll be doing a drawing. One person will win $50, and then they will spin the wheel, and whatever driver or whatever position they spin, that driver will also get $50. So it's a mysterious A feature spot, so they will get $50. Langenberg out there in the one machine. Cameron Meyer in the 21. Stephanie Reynolds in the 96 machine. And that down there in the 4. Looks like checkered flag is out for the high lap session. 17 sport mods on hand. I am sport mods on hand with us tonight. Jonathan Jensen in that 25. Langenberg in the 1. Cameron Meyer in the 21. The 13K is Trent Numa from Silver Lake, Nebraska. 96 is Stephanie Reynolds. And Gannett there in the 4 machine. Aiden Gannett there in the 4. Some more late models coming out, making some hot laps. Again, got plenty of time to make your way to the concession stand. Some of that delicious food. Some pulled pork, some riblets. It's all good, all good. Make sure you get your way down to the Northeast Nebraska Motorsports Hall of Fame. Get that raffle ticket. Looks like the 10 of, we call him the pilot, Jack Hardy from Omaha in the 10 machine. He not only pilots the number 10, but also actual pilot for aircraft, so that's why we call him the pilot. Another session of your IMCA late models on the Speedway. We have so many of these 18s, I got to figure out which one's which. I believe that's Jared Getchman and that machine. 21X. Garrett Hurley from Chambers, Nebraska. And it looks like the NF1 was Keegan Norquist from First. From Burford, South Dakota. Wild Thing IMCA Hobby Stocks on the Speedway for their hot lap session. Don't forget, get the little one signed up for trophy presentators. 6 trophies down there. 6 classes tonight, so we'll need 6 little ones for trophy presentation. Make sure you get them signed up. We'll draw that at intermission as well. Class 2 tough to tame IMCA stock cars making their way out to the Speedway. Derek Haase in the 16. Pettit in the 2T. Rick Pendergast in the 49. Skip going in the S42. By 3 weeks here. March 17 of on hand goes here tonight. Ron Pettit in that 12 machine. Derek Haase again in the 16. And the 2T. Skip going in the S42. We are getting your late models lined up for their time trials. So we will be lining them up by time trial. As you heard, late models time trials making their way to the staging area. As soon as we get some Midwest vintage stock cars. Give them a few laps on the old racetrack there. I found my favorite already. Bill Romack there in the Romack in Platte Center, Nebraska. And the number 1, that's a 68 Chevy Camaro. The 00. Ernie Carney from Rogers, Nebraska, and a 53 Chevy. Mike Gasco, the Outlaw from Columbus, Nebraska. He'll be in a 78 Ford Fairmont. Proskakol in from Ord, Nebraska, the 58 Chevy Impala in the 9. Brendan Proskakol from Ord, Nebraska, in the 75 Camaro. Dennis and Tad Proskakol from Ord, Nebraska. They'll be in a 65 Chevelle. Trent Proskakol from Ord, Nebraska, and he'll be in a 49 Ford. He's in the XX. Justin Tilton from Lyons, Nebraska, will be driving the 67 Chevy Malibu, number 49. Number 89 is Greg Moravec from Lindsay, Nebraska. He's driving a 63 Chevy Nova. Bill Ross from Utah, Nebraska. He's in this 1970 Chevelle 6SS. I believe he's the purple one out here on the backstretch right now going into turn number 3. And Dean Wilkinson in a Chevy 70 Chevy Camaro, number 52. Love seeing these veteran cars out here on the racetrack instead of growing out in the weeds somewhere. Appreciate the folks that put these cars back together and put them back on the racetrack. Two heats of these guys. 6 laps for each heat. 6 SS already spraying out some smoke. Never want to see that. Hopefully nothing major there. They'll get that figured out before their heat races. Again, thanks everybody for coming out tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you, each and every driver, each and every crew member that comes through those gates. We appreciate you guys oh so much. First annual Ray Haase tribute race. I am absolutely honored to get to call the first one. Don't forget, you got somebody at home that can't make the races tonight? Tell them they can get on Dirt Crown TV. Check out all the racing action. It's like Rosencrantz in the 66. He's going to make some hot laps. Travis Hatcher from Honey Creek, Iowa, making the pull over here in the 13.8. Travis, a former modified driver, flipped over to the stock car division. That seems to be a growing trend. Full challenge here, sport mods versus stock cars. Rusty Glazer from Glazer from Norfolk, two in the 2R machine. Glosser. I get paid to slaughter names, folks. Again, you still have time to make your way down to the stand, get yourself something cold to drink and hot to eat. Make your way over to the adult beverage section. Randy Hooker, if you may make your way up to the scoring room, please. Randy Hooker, up to the scoring room, please. Blue raspberry jello shots, fruit punch jello shots, and boozy bears. All $2 a piece down at the beer stand. So make your way down there and get yourself an adult beverage, please. If you are going to indulge in adult beverages, please make sure you have a designated driver. Again, we will get underway with your late model time trials. You can follow along on My Race Pass. $5.99 a month, $37 a year. Gets you all your lineups, live scoring, timing, and results. So if you have the My Race Pass premium subscription, you can follow along during our time trials and see who's going to be the fastest IMCA late model here at the first annual Ray Haase Tribute Race. Again, we are not going to be racing this Saturday. We'll be back in action next Friday night, the 12th. We'll be racing our weekly show right here next Friday night, July 12th. So make plans to make your way back out here. We are changing nights due to Madison County Fair going on. All right, looks like your time trial's on the way to make the time trial number 1, the 18 of Jesse Sobbing out there. Drew Baker in the 36X. Jesse Sobbing with a 14.831 his first lap. Drew Baker second with a 15.319. Jesse Sobbing finishes his last lap at a 14.842. Drew Baker 15.692. And it looks like Denning is going to be second fastest with a 15.062. So Jesse Sobbing right now, top of the board in speeds. Second qualifying group coming out. Ben Osdahl, Eric Ben Osdahl, the 9. Cale Kaziski in the 35 machine. Followed by the 21X. Eric Faber from Sioux City, Iowa. Eric Ben Osdahl with the first lap of 15.06. Cale Kaziski with a 15.23. Cale Kaziski with a 15.2. As Cale Kaziski, unfortunately, goes up in smoke in the 35 machine. So right now, Jesse Sobbing still sitting top of the speed charts at a 14.831. Denning sitting in second with a 15.0. Van Osdahl with a 15.06. Cale Kaziski sitting in fourth right now with a 15.2. Hopefully that's not something internal there. Drew Baker is in fifth right now with a 15.319, and Eric Faber with a 15.536. So Dan Lucan from Albion, Nebraska to 1112. Jack Hardy from Omaha in the 10, and Caleb Jasperson from Norfolk in the 4X. Then we're going to be your next three cars out on the Speedway for qualifying session number 1. There is 3 qualifying sessions for your time trials. And you can follow along on My Race Pass. Just go up to the upper left-hand corner, click on Best Lap. Can somebody knock Jesse Sobbing off of the top spot right now in qualifying? As they tend to, Cale Kaziski get him off the racetrack. We can get next 3 cars in our qualifying session back out on the racetrack. Definitely going to be some moisture out there tonight, a little later on. Want to see one of your top qualifiers getting pushed back into this pit area. So hopefully it's not internal and Cale can get back out here for his heat race. I do believe top 6 do get inverted into their heat race, top 6 qualifiers. Here comes the last 3 cars in qualifying session number 1. 112 is Dan Lucan from Sioux Center, Iowa, or Albion, Nebraska. Jack Hardy from Omaha. Caleb Jasperson from Norfolk in the 4X. Oh! Lucan goes around over in turn 1 and 2 in the 112. Hopefully he can get that back on the track and lay down a quick lap. First lap for Jack Hardy. 4th fastest. At a 15.156. Jasperson, 8th fastest with a 15.536. Jack Hardy, lap number 2. His first lap is faster with a 15.156. Jasperson moves up 1 spot to 7th with a 15.437. Unfortunately, the 112, Lucan goes around over in turn 1 and 2. He will not get a chance to make a run. All right, first 3 in the second session qualifying. Zach Zeitner in the 76, Van Haase in the 02. Tad Pospichel in the 04. That is going to be your first 3 cars in session number 2. Zach Zeitner with a 14.80.76. Matt Haase, second right now. Had Posmus up to second with a 15.1. Here comes Zach Zeitner's second lap. He goes faster at 14.7. Matt Haase, first lap faster at 15.293. And Tad Postmitchell a little bit faster, but he's going to stay in second with a 15.1. Zach Zeitner right now with a 14.779. He is the first car in your second. And Jared Getchman in the 18 machine. All right, here they come out of turn number 4. First lap for Babcock. He's fourth fastest. Nope, Chris Johnson bumps him off in the 73 at 15.488. Jared Getchman up to fourth with a 15.4. Second lap for Mike Babcock. He's going to stay sixth fastest at a 15.8. Johnson's going to stay seventh fastest with a 15.4. Jared Getchman moves up to fourth fastest with a time of 15.425. So the Getchman car showing some speed as Jesse Saubing was your fastest qualifier in qualifying group number 1. Group number 2 right now, Zach Zeitner at a 14.79. Keegan Nordquist in the 1-1 NF1 machine. Corey Dumper in the 77. And Ben Sukup in the 07. That should conclude qualifying session number 2. Nordquist down the back straightaway. We're going to see what his first lap's going to be. Nordquist. He's going to be sixth fastest with a 5.5. Corey Dufford up to third with a 15.158. Ben Sukup eighth fastest with a 15.753. Nordquist improves on his second lap at a 15.418. Corey Dumpert, he moves up to second. He moves past Mitchell back to third. Dumpert at a 15.039. And Ben Sukup stays in that eighth spot with a 15.431. So your fastest qualifier number 2 goes to Zach Zeitner. Corey Dumpert in second. Pos Mitchell third. Haase in fourth. And Nordquist in that fifth spot. Jared Getchman in the sixth. He rounds out the top 6 with a 15.425. Qualifying at group number 3 starts out with Jared Hurley from Chambers, Nebraska. He'll be in the 21X. Junior Coover in the 01 from Norfolk, Nebraska. And Jim Johnson from Plainview, Nebraska will be in the 36J. So Zach Zeitner, again, fastest qualifier in number 2 with a 14.779. Dumpert with a second with a 15.039. Pos Mitchell with a 15.129. Matt Haase with a 15.293. Keegan Nordquist was fifth fastest in that group at 15.418. And Jared Getchman in sixth with a 15.425. Chris Johnson, Ben Sukup, and Mike Babcock, they are your final 3 qualifiers for that group. And here comes the first 3 cars for group qualifying number 3. Jared Hurley in the 21X machine. Owama Junior Coover. Jim Johnson on 36J. Last count now as Hurley comes through 3 and 4. Obviously, right now, he's the fastest at 15.443. Junior Cooper is second, 15.473. Johnson's going to be third with 15.473. Jared Hurley goes faster with a 15.166. Jim Johnson stays Johnson goes second fastest. His second lap was faster, 15.258. Junior Coover's first lap was faster at 15.473. Alex Banks there in the 12B machine. Evan Miller, your national points leader. He comes to us. From Silvis, Illinois. Again, he is your national points leader in the IMCA late models. Jordan Krug in the J2K. Alex Banks coming out turn 4. His first lap is going to be second fastest to the 15.183. Miller top of the charts, 15.029. New fast time, group number 3. Jordan Krug, he is going to be sixth fastest with 15.5. Alex Banks did not improve on his second lap. He's going to stay at 15.183. Evan Miller, his first lap is going to be the fastest at 15.029. Right now, he is quick time. As Krug, second lap is fastest. He moves up to fifth with 15.337. So Evan Miller, your national points leader in the IMCA late models, is now the fast time in group number 3. Chase Osborne and Anthony Roth going to be the final 2 cars for the qualifying time trials here at Ray Haase Tribute Race. Osborne a little bit of push in 3 and 4. Right now, Evan Miller, the time to beat at 15.029. Let's see who can try to dethrone him. Osborne hits that little bit of a bump there in turn number 3. That's going to mess up the exit, but he is 7th fastest right now with a 15.886. Anthony Roth moves up to 4th with a 15.234. Osborne with a better second lap. No, yeah, he is, but he's still 8th fastest at 15.615. Anthony Roth moves to second on the charts. Second fastest for Anthony Roth. He moves up to number 2 at 15.107. His second lap was the fastest as well. So Evan Miller, your IMCA national points leader so far, top of the charts. Drew Baker in the 36. Well, that's Bo Johnson. Sorry, Bo Johnson in the 36. Got too many 36s here tonight. The 11X of Nelson Bolbrecht. And the 18, that's going to be 18J, JZ Justin Zeitner. Bo Johnson, 15.050. Nelson Bolbrecht. He's second with 15.359. Justin Zeitner. Second lap fastest for Justin Zeitner to 15.1. He is third. Bolbrecht's move up to second with 15.118. And right now, Bo Johnson top the charts at a 15.050. Brock Carlson into the 49 machine. Joey Haase there in the 2X. And Alex Humphrey is going to be in the 16.8. Remember your next 3 cars on the racetracks. Carlson's going to come around for his first time lap. We'll see where he stands. Carlson moves up to 4th at 15.987. Haase moves up to 4th now with a 15.2. Alex Humphrey moves up to 2nd with a 15.079. He bumped Bolbrecht down to 3rd. Carlson fastest on his second lap at 15.93. Haase back up to 3rd now with a 15.079. And Alex Humphrey, his first lap was faster. He's up to 2nd now at a 15.079. Micah Brown in the 24X machine. And it should be Spencer Landers in the 4 machine. This should be your final 2 qualifying late models. Well, tight on the 24X machine. Bright green and red, number 4. Lap number 1 this time for Micah Brown. 7th fastest at a 16.4. Landers up to 7th with a 16.3. Micah Brown going to stay 8th fastest at 16.413. Landers going to stay 7th at a 16.349. He said, I'm sorry it's coming down, please. There's so much in life you there. But it's all perfect. Here by the way I can still picture. Got a perfect way by the way you can still picture. Got that phone dangling on her and slowly turn around and be there for me like you. There's somebody in my world. All right, race fans, as we do each and every week, we ask that you please rise, extinguish all smoking material, please remove your headgear. As we take a moment to remember those who are serving and have served this nation. If you have served this nation, you are in attendance tonight. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice. Ladies and gentlemen, our most favorite song in the greatest country in the world, the national anthem. Well, I got the music to play, and then the internet started glitching on us. So if it's not one thing, it's another. But tell you what, race fans, what a way to start off Independence Holiday right here at Off Road Speedway. As you see, that one of the big trophies there for the late models, they're in purple because of the color of race cars used to be purple. So big thanks to the folks for making amazing trophies each and every week. Don't forget, sign the juniors up. 6 classes, 6 trophy presentators. As your first heat race in your IMCA Sport Mods, making their way onto the Speedway. Heat race number 1, lining up like this on the pole, the 15X of Michael Wolf to the outside, the 96R. That is Stephanie Reynolds. Inside row number 2, the 75. That's James Roebuck to the outside, 21 of Cameron Meyer. Inside row number 3 is the 15K, Trent Hula. To the outside, that's the 40, or the 14 of Ronnie Grass from Albion, Nebraska. Appreciate each and every one of you for coming out here tonight. Don't forget, make your way down the concession and get some of that amazing. 3 wide. That second spot as Michael Wolf takes him down the back straightaway. Stephanie Reynolds now taking a peek to the outside. She's going to run it on that wide. Handsome on the outside. Give her that 1. Camera fire all over. Now we're going to be almost 4 wide. Back to 3 wide from the second spot. All chasing down Stephanie Reynolds. Here comes Cameron Meyer. That 21 has been absolutely rocket fast all season long. Now Roebuck back to the bottom. We got him out of the top spot. 3-car battle for the top spot. Right now, give it to Roebuck. Stephanie Reynolds back to second. She's not done battling yet as she battles back from the outside. Going to try to give Roebuck a good run for the top spot. Cameron Meyer now to the bottom of the racetrack. Cameron Meyer looking to the bottom of Stephanie Reynolds for that second spot down the back straightaway to go. Not able to make the pass. Reynolds holds on for second row, but now she bobbles up a little bit. Cameron Meyer takes full advantage out of turn number 4 and move him up number 2. All chasing the 75, but Joe Roebuck. Roebuck running that outside groove. 1 lap to go for Joe Roebuck. James Roebuck. Cameron Meyer, Stephanie Reynolds, Michael Wolf, Grass and Poulin. That is your field. Out of 3 and 4 for the final time. He raced number 1. IMCA's 4 months for the James Roebuck. Cameron Meyer comes home in that second spot. Stephanie Reynolds third. Michael Wolf fourth. Lonnie Grass comes home in at that fifth spot. Trula in the 13K comes home in that sixth and final spot. Heat race number 2 from Norfolk, Nebraska, the 25 Jonathan Jensen to the outside from Creighton, Nebraska. That's the 15F. Logan Trudeau. Inside row number 2, the 52, is going to be Kyle Wilkinson. To the outside from right here, Norfolk, that's going to be the 1J, Colby Langenberg. Inside row number 3 from York, Nebraska, the 76, that's supposed to be Jeff Zimmerman. To the outside from Whistler, Nebraska, the 99C, Colby Lawfrey. He raced number 2 of 3 on the Speedway. All cars transferred to tonight's main event. Green flag is out. Stays 4 months. Jensen out to the early advantage. Now here comes Purdue, Pernod, and Wilkinson. Jonathan Jensen going to be the lap number 1. Pernod in third, Langenberg fourth. Now Langenberg on the bottom. And challenge Pernod for that third spot. Still Jonathan Jensen showing the way. 4 laps to go for the 10-5 team. Now Pernod down to the bottom line for the outside. It's still Jensen, Wilkinson, Kingsburg, Pernod. Zimmerman in that fist. White flag going to be on time 5. Jonathan Jensen. Good lap to deal with. He just dives to the bottom. Wilkinson second, Langenberg third. Now you're big hit! Big hit by Lawfrey out of turn number 3 and 4. But the checker flag is out. Checker flag is out. Cody Lawfrey takes a hard hit in turns 3 and 4. As our great, outstanding safety crew makes their way over 3 and 4, they're going to check on the 99C. Cody Lawfrey hit the wall full throttle. Never want to see it. Thankfully on the passenger side of the vehicle. Don't forget, folks, they do have blue raspberry jello shots, fruit punch jello shots, and bluesy bears for $2 a piece down at the adult section. I know a group that will probably take part in that. As it looks like here's third and final heat race in your IMC Sport Mods make their way to the racetrack. 26M and Terry Kester on the pole. Aiden Ganot out to the side him in the floor machine. Inside row number 2, the 38 from Columbus, Nebraska, Riley Ozikowski. Inside, outside of him, 2R, Whiskey Glosser. To the end, final row, the 21K, scheduled to be Jason King. .21K, Justin King not making the call for heat race number 3. So it'll be Kester, Ganot, Ozentowski, Glosser, and as they come out of barrel 4, oh my. Look at this already. 2, 3-car battle for the top spot. Ozentowski with no time. He goes from the bottom of the racetrack, tester on the outside. Ozentowski has enough number 4. That's right from 6. Ozentowski gets up the corner. Just coming right off. Right at the bottom. Well, they have a best storm. Well, it's even today. Second, Oscar third. Now that field that fourth spot. Jason King for this heat race. Perfect. Huge nice defense. Challenge on the bottom side at 1 and 2. We're going to get out of the tracks to go for the final time. We can see the white line stand by. Solid now, Keith. Now that great. Third time heat race. Wiley Ozentowski going to take the heat race with that fourth and final spot. You know, cars who transferred to tonight's main event. No transfers. Does look like we have 3 heat races and a B feature in your hobby stocks. We will have 4 heat races and 2 B features, possibly in your late models, with 34 cars on handlers tonight. IMC Hobby Stock through Wild Things making their way onto the Speedway. Christy Rosberg on the pole in the 3K to the outside. The 4 Zachary Spiegard inside room 2. Will be the 9 Landon Roebuck to the outside. The double lock. That's going to be Shannon Pothmitchell. Inside number 3, the 23, that's Dakota Span. Outside the 22X, that's going to be Dustin Jackson. Inside the final row, the 56, that's going to be Nate Buck. Outside of him in the 52 machine is going to be Jason Wilkinson. Green flag is out. Going away right now. Pothmitchell and Roebuck. Roebuck was shown as the race leader. 3-yard Pothmitchell. 3-yard. Gene. Shot in the shorts in the 50. That's where it goes. Now Dustin Jackson down from the top spot. First, the snipper coming out of the back. This one is He is. One race leader, Nate Buck, in that second spot. Roebuck and Wilkinson, top 4, transfer to tonight's A main event. Rest have to go for the B. So Roebuck is in that 4th and final transfer spot. As Jackson continues to show the way. We're halfway down, 4 to go. In heat race number 1, IMCA Hobby Stocks. Jackson comes to lead another lap. As now Wilkinson going to look to the bottom of Nate Buck for that second spot. Roebuck still in that 4th and final transfer spot. Pothmitchell is in the 5th spot. He is the first car outside looking in. We're going to have 2 laps to go this time by for Dustin Jackson. That battle still heating up to that second spot. Buck able to maintain that second spot, but Wilkinson trying to take it away. He's going to have one more lap to do it. Both cars are in for tonight's A-main event already, locked in. Hopefully they just race clean and both make their way in. Roebuck still in that fourth and final transfer spot. As he comes through 3 and 4, he's going to pick up heat race number 1, the 22X. That's going to be Dustin Jackson. Nate Buck going to come home second. Jason Wilkinson third. And Landon Roebuck is going to be in that fourth and final transfer spot. Poss Mitchell, Span, Rosberg, and Swigard will have to go through a B feature. Heat race number 2 on the pole, the 69L. That's going to be Brandon Lockspick to the outside. The 41 is Seth Steinmeier. Inside number 2 is the 4M. That's going to be Chase Malosic. Outside of him, the 58J, that is going to be Jordan Euling. Inside number 396, that's going to be Gage Cook. Outside of him is going to be the 7 car. That's going to be Lance Milkey. And inside number 4 is going to be the 6 of Wyatt Lehman. And to his outside, the 94F, that's going to be Trevor Frisk. A little sprinkle going over the racetrack right now. Real small one. All right, we're going to give these guys a couple of hot laps here, get that slick worn off. Mother Nature decided to try to put a damper on it for us. All right, looks like we're going to give this thing a go here. Get some double filed up. 8 laps to go. Molosic and Cook, or not Cook, Steinmeier on the front row. Cook and Euling, row number 2. Lehman and Milky. Frisk and Lospich in the back. As we go down the back straightaway, it is Steph Steinmeier leading the way. Molosic and Euling battling after that second spot. Again, top 4 transfer to tonight's A main event. So Milky is in that 4th and final transfer spot. Lehman is in that 5th spot. First car out, looking in. Look at this 3-car battle for the top spot. Milky clear to the bottom. Euling now Milky. Molosic has to slam on the binders to avoid contact. That puts him outside looking in. Now he's got to battle his way back and get around the 6 of Wyatt Lehman. Steinmeier and Molosic still showing the way. So now Molosic going to get credit for that lap. As we are now single file, nose to tail, all the way around the racetrack. Now Lehman looking to the inside of Tanner Euling, or Jordan Euling. Molosic still showing away. Steinmeier second, Euling third, Lehman 4th in that 4th and final transfer spot. Chase Molosic on the outside looking in. And now Gage Cook looks to the inside of Molosic. Nobody stepping out of line right now. Single file. Still Milky showing away. Steinmeier second. Euling Lehman, your top 4. 2 laps to go. White flag is going to be out this time by. Again, Wyatt Lehman in that 4th and final transfer spot. It looks like right now that's where he's going to stay. As Euling takes one more look on the inside of Steinmeier for second. Lance Milky takes a heat race win. Steinmeier second. Jordan Euling third. Wyatt Lehman is that 4th and final transfer car. Chase Molosic, Gage Cook, Trevor Frisk, and Brandon Lospick has to go to tonight's B feature and try to make it into tonight's race. Okay. Heat race number 3 on the Speedway, the A55. Anson Hawthorne to the outside, the 12XS Volker Volbrecht. To the inside, row number 2, the 16 of Tim Pritchard. Outside in the 58T, that's Tanner Euling. Inside row number 3 is going to be the 4, Mark Arducer. To the outside, the 25, that's going to be Joe Beller. Rounding out tail end, Charlie's picked up a couple exciting feature wins here. And Off-Road Speedway, the 45, Travis Landauer. So that is heat race number 3 of 3 in your Wild Thing IMCA Hobby Stocks. Out of turn number 4, green flag is out. Hawthorne going to go around. Pritchard, nowhere to go. Arducer, nowhere to go. Pritchard and Arducer, victims of circumstance. Big problems on the A55 as that left front is busted up. He will have to take it into the pits. Arducer and Pritchard nowhere to go, unfortunately, in the 16 and the 4. So they should remain on the racetrack. Hawthorne, big break on that left front. Going to appreciate each and every one of you for coming out here tonight. The first annual Ray Haase Tribute Race. $3,500 to win in your IMCA late models. Get down there to the Northeast Nebraska Motorsports Hall of Fame. Get signed up for the raffle. One lucky fan will win $50. Then they will spin the wheel. Whatever position they spin on that wheel, that driver will win the other $50. Don't forget to get your donations in there to the Northeast Nebraska Motorsports Hall of Fame. They keep racing alive in Nebraska, Northeast Nebraska. Don't forget Jello shots, blue raspberry, fruit punch. And then they got some boozy bears down there for $2 each. So get you a little bit of a boozy bear. I think there's a wild group that's probably going to take advantage of the blue raspberry and the fruit punch yellow shots here momentarily, if they haven't already. Dangerous crew. As they do get as you can tell on that A55, that left front all busted up. As our great fire and safety crew is here each and every week, making sure everybody's safe. From the people in the grandstands to everybody in the pits, we thank them for coming out each and every week. There are some parts on the racetracks. I see some of the safety crew picking it up. Volunteer first responder, very underappreciated, undercredited position. I was on that side for 17 years. If you're parked back here by the camper and you drive a Nissan Frontier, it's black. It's got a 7 county on it. If you could please move that real quick. We got a vehicle that needs to get out. We got an individual not feeling well, so she'd like to leave the races. So Nissan Frontier, 7 county plate. If you got parked right here by this camper, please come back and move it for a second. If you do have a Nissan Frontier, we need you to move it immediately just for a few minutes while the vehicle gets out. Meanwhile, back to racing action. Heat race number 3 in your Wild Thing IMCA Hobby Stocks. Volbrecht going to come out of turn number 4. He's going to have the advantage at the line. Pritchard in that second spot. Tanner Euling is third. Joe Beller in that fourth and final transfer spot, but that's about to change. Fourth. Here comes our Deucers out of a cannon. He moves up into that fourth spot. Joe Beller trying to give him a little push up there into third, not able to get the job done. Pritchard all over Volbrecht's back bumper down the back straightaway. Euling maintains third. Arducer fourth. He is in that fourth and final transfer spot. Landauer and Beller both won it. He's going to have to make that car about 4 lanes wide to hold off that 45 and the 25 machine. Meanwhile, Parker Volbrecht still showing the way. Tim Pritchard Jr., Tanner Euling, and Mark Arducer are your 4 cars transferring to tonight's A-main event right now. Now Euling tries a crossover. He moves up into that second spot. Pritchard back to third. We're going to have 3 laps to go this time by Parker Albrecht. Euling slides way up the racetrack now. Pritchard back to the bottom. Pritchard has to slam on the binders. They're going to be door to doors. That fourth and final transfer spot heating up between Arducer. Euling gets a little wobbly. He goes from in to out in tonight's A-main event in the 58T. Now that puts Landover and Arducer into tonight's A-main event. Right now, Landauer is the fourth and final transfer spot. White flag is out for Parker Volbrecht. Pritchard, Arducer, Landauer, Beller, and Euling. Euling, unfortunately, losing it over in 3 and 4. That put him out of tonight's A-main event right now. So Pritchard pushes up. Volbrecht takes the heat race win. Pritchard second, Arducer third. Travis Landauer is in that. He is the fourth and final transfer car out of that heat race. Going to tonight's B feature is going to be Joe Beller, Tanner Euling, and Anson Hawthorne. But taking the heat race win, the 12X of Parker Volbrecht. Our great fire and safety crew making their way about. Make sure there's no debris on the racetrack, as it looks like late model heat race number 1. For your IMCA late models. On the pole is going to be the 18 of Jesse Sobbing to the outside, the 56D. He's from Malvern, Iowa. Sterling, Illinois. Travis Denning in the 56D. Hoskins, Nebraska's Eric Van Osdal in the number 9. Jack Hardy from Omaha, Nebraska in the 10. Looks like Kale Kaziski not able to make the call. Looks like he must be internal on the 35 machine. Round out Taylor Charlie, one of the many 36s tonight. The 36 of Drew Baker. What the hell's playing? All right, heat race number 1. IMC late models on the Speedway. Jesse Sobbing and Denning battling out side by side down the back straightaway to go. Jack Hardy up to third. Van Osdal, top 4 transfer to tonight's A-main event. Press go through the B. Travis Denning showing the way in the 56D, Sobbing second, Hardy and Van Osdal. As now Drew Baker trying to get up there and battle for that fourth and final transfer spot. Van Osdal is in the fourth spot. Sobbing and Denning. Now Sobbing with the advantage out of turn number 2. Jesse Sobbing, your new race leader in the 18. Look at this battle for the fourth and final transfer spot. Drew Baker trying the slider. That's going to cause Van Osdale and Hardy to knock doors. 6 laps to go for Jesse Sobbing. Sobbing, Denning, Van Osdale, and Hardy, your top 4. Drew Baker, the first car outside looking in. Is now Van Osdal. Check up. Here comes Baker down to the inside. He slides up to a transfer spot. Van Osdal going to battle back on the inside. Not going to make the pass. Now Hardy goes up. Hardy slides up the racetrack. He's on the outside looking in. Van Osdal's in that fourth and final transfer spot. Jesse Sobbing still showing the way with 3 laps to go. Now Jack Hardy has to recollect himself and try to get to that 9 of Van Osdal to get that fourth and final transfer spot. 2 laps to go for Jesse Sobbing. Travis Denning, Eric Van Osdal. Oh, Jack Hardy goes around over in turn number 3 and 4. That's going to bring a caution out on the speedway. Coming to the white flag, Jack Hardy goes around over in number 3 and 4. That brings out the caution. What a race we have up front between Travis Denning and Jesse Sobbing. Eric Van Osdal in that 3rd spot, and Jack Hardy was in that 4th and final transfer spot. But he will have to tail track onto the backside of the field here. All right, here we go. Not sure what we're doing here. Our flagman never once shut the light off. Not sure what we're doing there. Get your line back up. Start all over. All right, we have to ask it, please stay away from the fences at all times during the racing action. Please back away from the fence over in turn number 4. All right, here they come out of turn number 4. We're taking the green flag this time by Sobbing, Denning, Baker, and Van Osdal. Now Baker slides up to racetrack. That's going to bring in Jasperson. Now he's in that 4th and final transfer spot. In the 4 machine, Baker trying to bounce back. He's got one more time around to try to find a way around the 4 machine. Jesse Sobbing, 3 and 4, going to take the heat race win. Travis Denning going to come home second. Third's Van Osdal. Look at this. It's the final transfer spot out of 4. Woo-hoo! What a move by Drew Baker. Coming out of 4, pulls the slider, and gets into tonight's main event. Again, if you got a Nissan Frontier pickup parked right back behind the grandstands with 7 county plates, we need you to move it for just a few minutes so a vehicle can get out. And in that same area is a Toyota Tundra. If you're nice enough to move your vehicle so this young lady can get out, she is not feeling well and would like to leave. So either the Frontier or the Tundra, parked right behind the grandstands here by this camper. We ask you, please move it for a few minutes so we can get a vehicle out, or else we'll find the racetrack tow truck to move it for you. So heat race number 2, Zach Zeitner, Corey Dumpert, row number 1, Todd Postmitchell, Matt Haase in row number 2, Keegan Nordquist and Chris Johnson, row number 3, Jared Getchman, Ben Sukup in row number 4, and Mike Babcock rounds out the field in the 83. There's an unfamiliar sight. Corey Dumpert in the wall, top 4, due transfer to tonight's main event. Lap number 1 going to go to Zach Zeitner. A little contact between him and Shannon Postmitchell at the front of the field. Haase in third. Northwest is in that 4th and final transfer spot, but here comes Johnson out of the outside. Watch that 4th place. That is your transfer spot. Zach Zeitner still showing the way. Postmitchell, Haase, and Johnson, now your top 4. Northwest now goes to the bottom. He's in the transfer spot. Oh! Johnson and Dumpert get together. Oh! Cars together over turn number 2. Caution on the Speedway. 83 of Babcock had nowhere to go as Johnson and Dumpert get together. One comes up, one comes down. They're going to meet in the middle. Unfortunately, Johnson, the unfortunate one there. Again, Ford or a Nissan Altima or Frontier or a Tundra back here by the camper. One of you guys could please move your vehicle so this lady can get out and you can park right back in your spot. We have got to have that vehicle moved just for a minute or two, or we will find a way to move it for you. So if you got a Frontier or a Tundra right over here by the camper, please, we ask that you please move it for a couple minutes. Let a vehicle out. You can have it right back. So the gray Toyota Tundra or the Nissan Frontier. We please need to have it moved for a second, if you would, please. We would greatly appreciate it. It's right behind the grandstands here, in front of the camper. Just have you move it just for a minute while we let a vehicle get out, and you can have your spot right back. All right, we're going to go green flag here out of turn number 4. Green flag's back out. Zach Zeitner, Postmitchell, Haase, and Nordquist, your top 4. Dumpert, one first car out, looking in. Zach Zeitner still showing away. Postmitchell second, Haase third, Nordquist. Now Ben Sukup. And Dumpert battling it out. for that 5th spot. Now Duffert slides up the racetrack, loses ground to Nordquist. 6 laps to go for Zach Zeitner. Tad Postmitchell, Matt Haase, Nordquist, Dumpert, Sukup, Johnson, Getchman, and Babcock. Dumpert doing everything he can to try to catch that one of Nordquist. He is the first car out looking in. Nordquist has to bobble up. Dumpert going to try to dumb and cut the corner. He gets the advantage. Give fourth to Corey Dumpert temporarily. Oh, they're banging door to door as they come out of turn number 2. It is Corey Dumpert put in that 4th spot. Nordquist going to slam down on the bottom. Not going to get it to stick as Dumpert moves up. 4 laps to go for Zach Zeitner. The Zeitner and Sons number 76. Running that high groove, staying above the holes. 3 laps to go. Past Postmitchell in 2nd. Haase 3rd, Dumpert 4th, Nordquist 5th, Sukup in 5th, Johnson 6th, Getchman 7th, and Babcock in that 8th and final spot. 2 laps to go this time by for Zach Zeitner. Tad Postmitchell, Haase, Dumpert, Nordquist, Sukup, Johnson, Getchman, and Babcock. White flag flies, Zach Zeitner. Continue to show the way. Babcock goes around again in the 83, makes it. What a save by the 83. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Babcock goes around again in 3 and 4. Taking the checkered flag, this time by looks like the light is out. Looks like we're going to go back to green flag, green, white, checkered. As they come out of turn number 4, the green flag's back out. Zach Zeitner still showing the way. Postmitchell, Haase, Dumpert, Nordquist. Your top 4. Haase takes a stab to the bottom, not able to make it stick as Zach Zeitner. Now here comes Tad Postmitchell trying to make a run. Not going to get to Wicks. Checkered flag's out. Zach Zeitner. Matt Haase comes home 2nd. Postmitchell 3rd. Dumpert is in that 4th and final transfer spot. Nordquist, Sukup, Getchman, and Johnson will have to go to tonight's A-main event. Here comes your 4 cars out of turn number 4 that qualify for tonight. A-main event, but taking that heat race win to 76, Zach Zeitner. Matt Haase comes home in that 2nd spot. Postmitchell 3rd, and Dumpert is in that 4th and final transfer spot. Heat race number 3, on the Speedway, on the pole. Your IMCA national points leader, the 88 of Evan Miller, to his outside, the 60 of Anthony Roth, Jared Hurley in the 21X, Alex Banks in the 12B, Jim Johnson in the 36J, Jordan Krug in the J2K, that is row number 3, Junior Coover and Chase Osborne in the 14, that is row number 4. So coming to us from Sevilius, Illinois, the 88 of Evan Miller. Thank him for the miles. Green flag's out. Here we go. Heat race number 3 underway in your late models. Miller, Roth battle down. Now Roth gets a slight advantage. If this track goes high side, Roth is going to be hard to beat in that 60 machine. Roth takes the advantage. Miller in 2nd. Banks and Hurley. That is your 4 qualifying cars. Oh! Osborne gets in contact with Krug. Sends Krug around in the J2K. Contact between Osborne and Krug. Krug goes to the infield. We're going to stay clean and green as contact unfortunately takes the J2K out of the race. He will go through tonight's B feature. Anthony Roth still showing the way. Miller second, Banks third. And Hurley is in that fourth and final transfer spot in that 21X. As now Jim Johnson tries to battle on the inside. He wants that fourth and final transfer spot. Roth continuing to show the way. He's out a different area code right now than your national points leader, Evan Miller, in the 88 machine. Alex Banks in third. Hurley still fourth. Caution on the Speedway for the 21X of Jared Hurley, your fourth and final transfer car. So as I rewind the live stream a little bit, the 36 of Jim Johnson forces the 21X up into the wall coming out of turn number 2. So we'll see if they call the 36 involved. All right, this is the get single file. Maybe 6 laps to go this time for the 60 of Anthony Roth. Evan Miller in that second spot. Alex Banks in third. Now Jim Johnson's in that fourth and final transfer spot in the 36 machine. Chase Osborne, Junior Coover. Jordan Krug, he is 1 lap down, as they did make the 21X of Jared Hurley pull off the racetrack for being the cause of the yellow. Here we come through 3 and 4. Green flag sound, back underway. 6 laps to go for Anthony Roth. Evan Miller peeks to the inside, not able to make the pass. Banks maintains third. Johnson is in that fourth and final spot. Chase Osborne, first car, now looking in. He raced number 3 of 4 in your IMCA late models. As you can see, a high side dominant racetrack right now. As Anthony Roth, Evan Miller, Evan Banks and Johnson. Johnson in that fourth and final transfer spot. Chase Osborne doing everything he can to get the yellow 14 into tonight's A-main event and not have to worry about going through a B feature. 3 laps to go for Anthony Roth. Evan Miller not letting him out of his sight. Not letting him get away this time. 2 laps to go for Anthony Roth. Evan Miller, Banks, Alex Banks, Jim Johnson, your 4 qualifying cars. White flag out this time by for Anthony Roth, the 60V. Evan Miller second, Banks third, Johnson fourth, Osborne fifth, Sukup in that 5th spot, and Jordan Krug in the J2K. Checker flag is out. Anthony Roth taking a heat race win. Heat race number 3, Evan Miller second, Alex Banks third, Jim Johnson is your 4th and final transfer car in the 36. Osborne, Hoover, and Krug will have to go through tonight's B feature to make it into tonight's A-main event. We're going to take a look at heat race number 4. Bo Johnson in the 36. Joey Haase in the 2X. That is row number 1. Alex Humphrey in the 16H. Nelson Volbrecht in the 11X. That is row number 2. Row number 3, the 18J. That's Jay-Z. Justin Zeitner was outside the 4. That's going to be Spencer Landers. That is row number 3. Inside row number 4, 49er Brock Carlson to the outside of 24X. That's going to be Micah Brown. So heat race number 4 of 4 in your IMCA. Late models. Again, if you do have the My Race Pass, Premium Edition, and follow along with live timing, live scoring. Get your lineups and everything right there on the My Race Pass app. If you got somebody who can't be here, we're live on Dirt Crown TV. Either way, can't miss the action. Out of turn number 4, green flag is out. Haase and Johnson bring him to the green. Look at this. Is Justin Zeitner already sliding to the bottom. Oh! Landers has to hit the binders, loses bobbles a little bit. That's going to cause the 49 of Brock Carlson to spin. Victim of circumstance for the 49. I believe we did not get a lap in, so therefore they will re-rack and restack this field, complete restart, with the 49 unfortunately going to the rear of the field. All right, Carlson will get to rejoin the field as he had to spin because of Landers having to hit the brakes. So not a Lone Ranger rule in that case. So we're going to go back to green flag racing here. Johnson, Haase, row number 1. Humphrey, Volbrecht, row number 2. Zeitner and Brown, row number 3. Carlson and Landers in row number 4. All right, we're going to try this again. Out of turn 4, green flag's back out. As the battle is for that 4th and final transfer spot. Humphrey way to the bottom. Zeitner going way to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to fall wide out of turn number 2. Something had to give. Volbrecht and Zeitner both able to make contact, but able to continue. Now Zeitner going to slide back up. Oh, he gets into Haase. Oh, Landers goes around over turn number 2. Spencer Landers goes around between 1 and 2. Caution on the Speedway for the 4, Spencer Landers. Oh, big fire on the 4 machine. As we are going to go red, you're getting the driver out of the car. Car is on fire. He's out of the car. Big thanks to our fire and safety crew. That was a big fire underneath the hood of that 4 machine. Thankfully, he is out of the car. We've had one scenario in the infield where the car caught on fire. Big thanks to our fire and safety crew. Of course, Tim Partridge, or Richard. Tim Pritchard Jr. pulling out the 49, unfortunately, of Johnson catching on fire. Carlson, Pritchard, and the rest of our safety crew for getting the 49 or the 7 of Devin Johnson out of that car in time. Big shout out to those guys. Looks like it might have been heavy contact between the 4 and the 24X, as his fender sticks in a little bit further than the tire is supposed to stick out a little less than the fender, but at this point the fender is way inside of the tire. So I've got the cars rolling again. We go through that stuff down there in turn 1 and 2. Don't forget, we are not racing this Saturday night. We're back to racing next Friday night right here. Weekly racing. All our weekly classes will be back on hand with us. So make sure you make your way back out here on the 12th. Bo Johnson is showing the way right now. It looks like we're gonna go green next time by. Bo Johnson still showing the way. Alex Humphrey, Joe Haase, and Justin Zeiner. That is your 4 qualifying cars right now. Bobrecht, Micah Brown, and Brock Carlson, your 3 cars looking out. Or looking in right now from the outside. Here they come, 3 and 4. RPMs are back up. We're back to green flag racing. Heat race number 3. IMCA late models, or heat race number 4. Haase now looking back to the outside of Zeitner. Zeitner on the bottom. Oh, Humphrey. Oh, big slow. The 16H did not have the room he thought he had coming out of 4, causing the pile up on the front stretch. Almost clipping the 18 of Justin Zeitner. Bad slide job by the 16H of Alex Humphrey. Causes a couple car pile up here on the front stretch. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear you. (16H) of Alex Humphrey getting shown that was, in fact, a horrible slide job coming out of turn number 4. It looks like the 16H of Humphrey will be put to the back for questionable driving, as he pulled a horrible slider coming out of turn number 4, causing 2 cars to pile up here on the front straightaway. So he will be called involved and go to the back. All right. Safety crew is going to be off the racetrack. We'll get to show them the one more time. As Justin Zeitner is your new race leader, Lobrecht is in second. Micah Brown third, Carlson fourth. That is your 4 transfer cars. As Bo Johnson already back out on the racetrack. Hopefully, Joey Haase can get that car fixed back out here for tonight's B feature. All right, here we go. Going to go green next time by. Justin Zeitner, Nelson Volbrecht, Micah Brown, Brock Carlson, your 4 qualifiers. They're going to transfer in tonight's main event. As of right now, we're going to decide in 8 laps. Out of turn number 4, Justin Zeitner brings him to the green. Justin Zeitner slingshots out, trying to extend that race lead over Nelson Volbrecht. As Alex Humphrey now up to 3rd in the 16H. Now Bo Johnson moves up into that transfer spot. Micah Brown trying to hold him off. Can the 36 make the move? Give it to him. Bo Johnson back in tonight's main event as he moves up into that 4th and final transfer spot. As he tries to chase down the 16H of Alex Humphrey. Meanwhile, still Justin Zeitner, 4 laps to go in your 4th and final heat race in your IMCA late models. All right, looks like we're going to have the white flag out. This time by for Justin Zeitner in the 18 machine. Nelson Volbrecht, Alex Humphrey, and Bo Johnson. That is your top 4. Down the back straightaway for the final time in your final heat race. He hails from Malvern, Iowa. Justin Zeitner takes the heat race win. Nelson Volbrecht comes home 2nd. Alex Humphrey 3rd. Bo Johnson rebounds to make it into tonight's main event. Micah Brown and Brock Carlson both going to have to go through tonight's B feature. But how about Bo Johnson sitting here on the front stretch and still comes back to make tonight's A main qualifier. But taking a heat race win from Malvern, Iowa, JZ Justin Zeitner. All right, heat race number 1 of 2 in your Pro Stock 4s on the pole. The 69 Bryant car to the outside. The 29B of Brantley Freeman. Inside row number 2, 38S. That's Kyle Reed to the outside. The 1K. That's Keegan Warner. 33T at Dakota Tegler. And the A1 of Alex Carnes. That is your 3rd and final row. 1 of 2 heat races in your Pro Stock 4s. Still missing the 29B of Brantley Freeman. Supposed to be scheduled to start outside row number 1. Looks like they're just going to move the 1K of Keegan Warner up to the front row. The A1 looks like he's just going to hang back. I believe it's one of his first races, so he's just going to stay back. All right, turn number 4, green flag is out. Last week's feature winner, Keegan Warner, trying to take pick up where he left off down the back straightaway. He is the race leader. Kyle Reed's in that second spot. Brian Carr is in third. Dakota Tegler in the 33T. And there's Bentley Freeman making his way back out to the Keegan Warner getting a little wobbly over there in 1 and 2. These guys taking it a little bit easy as that left rear is actually coming off the ground. Now Warner's off the pace. Right front flat on the 1K machine. Kyle Reed showing the way into 38S. Brian Carr second. Bentley Freeman is third. I'll move him up to second. Brian Carr back to third. Keegan Keegler is in fourth. Keegan Warner in the pits. Alex Carnes coming to the checkered flag, the 38S. That's going to be Kyle Reed. Bentley Freeman coming home second. Brian Carr, no, 33T. Dakota Tegler getting around him at the last lap. He's going to come home third. Brian Carr fourth. Alex Carnes comes home in that fifth spot. Keegan Warner rounds out the field. Heat race number 2 on the pole of the 33K. Christian Kruger to the outside, the 73 of Dylan Curry. That is row 1. 12Z of Zach Cordner and the 28R of Trent Reed. And the 28R, that is row number 2. 10S of Leonard Carnes and the 07 of Brendan Fleming. That is row number 3. So 6 cars going 6 laps in your Pro Stock 4. I mean, it don't say in the rule books what you have to drive. It's just got to be a 4-cylinder. Who said you couldn't transfer a 4-cylinder into an S10? Turn number 4. Green flag's out underway. Heat race number 2 of 2 in your Pro Stock 4s. Christian Kruger out front early is Curry second, but here comes Trent Reed now, your current points leader. He is your current points leader, the 28R of Trent Reed. Christian Kruger still showing away. Curry and Reed side by side. Now Kruger gives Trent Reed a little bit of a window. This is what all the buzz is about. Some actually racing action here in your Pro Stock 4s. Top 5, all within throwing distance of each other. Now Trent Reed all out by his lonesome out front as Kruger comes home, is in second. Curry third, Fleming fourth. Cordner is in that fifth spot. Carnes is in sixth. Two laps to go for the 28R of Trent Reed. Still got a great battle for that second spot. Kruger's got it. Curry, Fleming, and Cordner won it. White flag going to fly this time by for Logan, Iowan. Trent Reed and 28R machine. Look at this battle for second still. Third, fourth, and fifth. Trent Reed for the final time. He's going to come through 3 and 4. Checkered flag is going to be out this time by from Logan, Iowa. Trent Reed takes the heat race win. Christian Kruger going to go second. Who's going to come home third? Connor makes the move. He comes home third. Fleming comes home fourth. Curry fifth, and Carnes rounds out your field in that sixth spot. All right, it's time for your Midwest Classic Stock Cars. On the pole, going to be the 52 of Dean Wilkinson. To the outside in the 1K, that's going to be Mike Ganskow, the outlaw from Columbus, Nebraska. He's driving a 78 Ford Fairmont. Inside of row number 2 is going to be the 12 machine of Dennis and Tad Proskal. I know I spelled that name. I said that wrong. 65 Chevelle. To the outside, the 00, Eric Ernie Carney from Rogers, Nebraska. He's a 53 Chevy. The 12P, that's Brendan Proskal from Ord, Nebraska, the 75 Camaro. And the 6SS is a 70 Chevelle, and that is Bill Rost. So that is your heat race, number 1 of 2 in your Midwest Classic stock cars. Love to see these guys on the racetrack sit out in the weeds. Dean Wilkinson looks like he's going to see the white flag this time by. I think speed just comes with that last name. Down to back straight for the final time in heat race number 1. In your Midwest Classic stock cars, Dean Wilkinson going to take heat race number 1. Mike Ganskow going to take home that second spot. Eric Ernie Carney from Rogers, Nebraska, in that 00. He comes home third. And Dennis Pad Poskical from Ord, Nebraska, in the 65 Chevelle, number 12, is in that 4 spot. Heat race number 2, Bill Rumbach, he's going to be on the pole. And the number 1, he's driving a 68 Chevy Camaro from Platte Center, Nebraska. To his outside, and the 9 machine, Cody Proskical from Ord, Nebraska. He's in a 58 Chevy Chevelle. Inside row number 2 is going to be the 89. Greg Moravec from Lindsay, Nebraska. He's going to be in a 63 Chevy Nova. To his outside is Justin Tilton from Lyons, Nebraska. He's in the 49. He's driving a 67 Chevy Malibu. Rounding out tail end Charlie's the double X. And that's Trent Proskical from Ord, Nebraska, and a 1949 Ford. Have to look up numbers and find names and Rumbach is showing the way right now in the 1 machine. White flag is out this time by as we have a battle up front. Prosticle and Rumbach up front for the top spot. Checker flag's out. Bill Rumbach. Rumbach from Platte Center takes the heat race win. IMCA stock car, heat race number 1. On the pole, the S42 is Skip going to the outside, the 49. That's Rick Pendergast. Ron Pettit in the number 12 machine. To his outside, the 11, Chad Bruns. That is row number 2. Kyle Wilkinson and Cameron Wilkinson make up row number 3. Kyle's in the 52. Cameron in the 5. Heat race number 1 of 3 in your IMCA stock cars. As they come out of turn number 4, green flag is out. Brun's going to waste no time going to the front as Cameron Wilkinson following suit. Ron Pettit. Kyle Wilkinson following suit. Now Wilkinson gets around. Cameron Wilkinson gets around Bruns. Kyle gets around Pettit. Move Pettit back to 4th. Kyle Wilkinson up to 3rd. Now Bruns goes to the bottom. That's not going to be working as Kyle Wilkinson now goes around. Move him up to second. He's going to try to chase down Cameron Wilkinson. Wilkinson's getting that outside line to work in the 5 and the 52. Cameron Wilkinson still showing the way. White flag is out this time by for Cameron Wilkinson, Kyle Wilkinson, Chad Bruns, Ron Pettit, Skip Coing. Checkered flag is out this time by for the 5 of Cameron Wilkinson. Kyle Wilkinson coming home second, Chad Bruns third, Ron Pettit in fourth, and Skip Coing in that 5th and final spot. That is heat race number 3, in your Class 2 Tough to Tame, your IMCA stock cars. Heat race number 2 going to be rolling on the Speedway on the pole of 55. Tanner Cunningham to the outside, the 66. That's going to be Cole Rosenkrantz. Inside row number 2 is the 74, Neil Bruns. To the outside, the 16S. That's going to be Derek Seahigh. Inside row number 3, the 20 of Eric Haase. To his outside from Honey Creek, Iowa, the 13H. That's going to be Travis Hatcher. All right. Cunningham. Rosenkrantz, bring him to the green. All cars do transfer to tonight's main event. Oh, we got 3 wide to Seahigh to the outside of Neil Bruns. Move him up to third. Not done there as he moves up to second now. Oh, Cole Rosenkrantz, hold on to it. No! Cole Rosenkrantz going around over in 1 and 2 in front of the field. Luckily, only caught 2 of the other cars. As looks like all cars are able to drive away. All right, back to green flag. Cunningham leads him to the green. Again, all cars do transfer to tonight's main event. Hatcher running the very bottom of the racetrack in the 13H machine. Wheels and hands in motion in that race car. Look at that. 3 is better than 4. Now Travis Hatcher trying to go to the point. Leaves that bottom open. Quickly closes that door. Looks like we got a new race leader. The 13H of Travis Hatcher. Travis Hatcher, a longtime modified driver, now down to the stock car division. As he continues to show the way, now Derek Seahigh trying on the outside, not able to get that run to stick. Still Travis Hatcher showing the way in the 13H. Look at that battle for second. It's now Haase to the outside, trying to get a run on Seahigh. Seahigh shuts the door on Eric Haase. Travis Hatcher still showing the way in the 13H machine. Travis Hatcher got that car working really well on the bottom, as he takes the heat race win. Derek Seahigh second, Eric Haase third. Or no, Derek Seahigh second, Eric Haase third, Neil Bruns in fourth, Tanner Cunningham fifth, and Rosencrantz in that sixth and final spot. Picking up the heat race win from Honey Creek, Iowa. That's going to be Travis Hatcher. Good to see the 13H didn't float away down there in Honey Creek as he's right off Interstate 29. All right, heat race number three. Third and final heat race in your IMCA stock cars. The 48 of Brian Harms to the outside of the 2T, Tanner Pettit. That is row number one. Inside row number two, the 31K, that's Nate DeCiphe. Outside in the 26 of Jeremy Hoskinson. Inside row number three, picked up a feature win last time out in dramatic fashion as Cameron Wilkinson broke coming out of turn number four with a checkered flag. He is your last time feature winner, the 77, TJ Milky. Coming to the checkered, Cameron Wilkinson breaks, and TJ Milky takes the feature at the last second. Green flag's out for your third and final heat race in your Class 2 Tough to Tame IMCA stock cars. Tanner Pettit jumps out to the point right away, but here comes Milky now as he looks to the inside of Hoskinson for second. Milky seen what Hatcher could do on the bottom, putting that 77 on the bottom. Milky trying to be a multiple-time offender in victory lane. Him and Hoskinson doing a fantabulous job in second. Now Hoskinson going to try the last-second crossover move. Not going to work. Gives second to TJ Milky. Now he bumps it up on the racetrack, putting that right rear up on the berm. Out of turn number two as he gets to the back door of Tanner Pettit. Now here he comes to the bottom. TJ Milky, challenger for the race lead out of four. And now TJ Milky to the point. That's going to move Pettit back into second. Don't forget, folks, we still have time. You still have time to sign up for the raffle for the Northeast Nebraska Motorsports Hall of Fame drawing at intermission. You can win $50. White flag is out. One more time for TJ Milky. Down the back straightaway for the final time. In heat race number three. He picked up the feature win last time out. He picked up the heat race win tonight. TJ Milky. Tanner Pettit going to come home second. Jeremy Hoskinson comes home third. Nate DeCiphe in fourth. Brian Harms rounds out the field in that fifth and final spot. As we get ready to bring out your B features. Again, one more time. You do have time to sign up for the raffle over here real quick from the Northeast Nebraska Motorsports Hall of Fame. You'll win $50. You'll spin the wheel. And whatever position you land on, that driver will also win $50. So make your way over there. You could make a little money coming to the races tonight. Not a bad deal. Also, don't forget your 50-50 tickets running around here as well. We'll draw that as well at intermission. Hey, it's time for some B features. Before we get into this break, and it looks like it is your IMCA late model B feature. Numero uno. On the pole, the 4X. That is Caleb Jasperson to the outside, the 14, Chase Osborne. Inside row number two, the pilot, Jack Hardy. To his outside, the 01, that's Junior Coover. Inside row number three is scheduled to be the 21 of Eric Faber. Outside the M's a J2K. That is Jordan Krug. To the inside of row number 4, the 1112. That's Dan Lucan. Scheduled to be outside of him is going to be the 21X of Jared Hurley. And rounding out the field, scheduled to be the 35X of Kale Kaziski. Unfortunately, I've talked to Kale Kaziski. His night is over. Power plant expired on that machine. Very unfortunate to hear that. So maybe we can get it fixed up. We'll see maybe next Friday night out here, the 12th, as we will have all weekly classes back with us on the 12th next Friday night. Nothing this Saturday night. Lights not out yet, as we're going to show them one more time around, this time by. Trying to give everybody a little bit of chance to, if they're running just a little bit late, to make the B feature. Looks like we got what we got. 5 cars. In your IMC late model B feature. Top 2 transfer. So only 3 cars will go home tonight. Out of the B feature, rest of them go on. Top 2. Is it going to be Chase Osborne? Is it going to be Caleb Jasperson? Is it going to be Jack Hardy? Junior Coover? Or Dan Lucan? Here they come out of turn number 4. Green flag's out. We're about to find out. Looks like right now it's Chase Osborne and Jack Hardy. They are your top 2. Osborne on the outside, Hardy on the inside. Both cars trying both ways. Hardy goes back up to the outside and turns 1 and 2. That seems to be the path over in 1 and 2. Three laps to go this time by for Chase Osborne. Jack Hardy reeling him in that 10 machine, running high up in 1 and 2, and the bottom in 3 and 4. Multi-groove track, gotta love it. Now Hardy goes to the outside this time. Diamond cuts the corner. Jasperson slowly reeling in that 10 machine. All right, we got a GMC Denali, 7 county plate. We need you to move your vehicle. Black Chevy GMC Denali, 7 plate, 1957A. 1957A. We need you to move your vehicle, please. Black Chevy Denali. As we come down to 2 laps to go, this time by for Chase Osborne. 2, 3, and 4. White flag. No, Hardy slips up. That's going to open the door for Jasperson. White flag's out one more time. Top 2 transfer. Hardy now to the outside. Look at Jasperson. He tries to slam it in turn 1 and 2. Not going to make it stick. Chase Osborne's going to go on to tonight's A-main event. Jack Hardy battles up again. Oh, the car gets tight. Get up, Jasperson. Look out. Here they come. Jasperson gets on to tonight's A-main event. The car gets tight on Jack Hardy in 3 and 4. Nothing he can do. Caleb Jasperson transfers on to tonight's A-main event, going with Chase Osborne. All right, now that we got some peace and quiet real quick. Black GMC Denali. Black GMC Denali. 7 county plate. Please move your vehicle for a minute. 7 county plate. 1957A. If you could please move it for a second so we can get some people out. You bet. All right, we do have a second B feature in your IMCA late models. On the pole, the NF1 of Keegan Nornquist to the outside 24X of Micah Brown. Inside row number 2, the 07 of Ben Sukup to the outside of 49 of Brock Carlson. Inside row number 3, 18X, that's Jared Getchman. To the outside, the 2X, that's Joe Haase. Inside row number 4, the 7 of Chris Johnson. Outside of him, the 4, that's going to be Spencer Landers. And Mike Babcock in the 83 rounds out the field. Looks like Joey Haase not able to make the call. Spencer Landers not able to make the call. Top 2 transfer. All right, B feature number 2 on the way. Green flag's out, top 2 transfer. Oh, Sukup, here comes Getchman now. He takes advantage of it. Move him up to second. He's in that second and final transfer spot. Getchman going way high on the racetrack as he gets a run at the top of the corner and drives straight off the corner. Oh, Nordquist goes way up. He's off the gas. He's stopped over in 3 and 4. Problems for your race leader. Problems for your race leader. Caution is out. Nordquist into the wall in 3 and 4. Unfortunate for your race leader. Looks like Nordquist able to keep the car going in the one machine. He will fall onto the tail of the field. Back out of turn 4, back to green flag. Jared Getchman showing the way. Oh, now Getchman goes around. Jared Getchman, go! Babcock barely missing him. Just nicked the nose of Jared Getchman. Yellow flag is out. Second time a race leader has problems. Maybe the front's not the place to be. Now your 2 qualifying cars, Ben Sukup and Chris Johnson. That is your 2 qualifying cars. All right, lights out this time by. Looks like we're going to go back to green flag. Ben Sukup is your race leader. Chris Johnson second. Getchman, unfortunately, brake checked by the one machine, brake checking the 18 of Getchman. I'm telling you, out front's not the place to be. Everybody's been out front so far has had issues. Hopefully that's going to change right now for Chris Johnson. Him and Ben Sukup right now in the show. Nordquist slides back up the racetrack. There's going to be 5 laps to go next time by for Chris Johnson. Ben Sukup, your top 2 qualifiers. Micah Brown, first car out, looking in. Babcock and 49 get together, which unfortunately causes the 18 to go around. Oh, big contact over in turn number 1 and 2. Hard hit. Hard hit. '83, Dukes of Hazarding the 24X of Micah Brown over there in turn 1 and 2. That shakes up the lineup as Eric Johnson still the race leader. Ben Sukup in second. Now Nordquist up to third. Getchman fourth. Carlson is in that 5th spot. All right, Chris Johnson, Bensuka, Nordquist and Getchman, white, green flag back out. We got 5 laps to go. In your IMC late model A B feature. Now Nordquist looking to the inside. He wants to challenge the transfer spot. Door to door through 3 and 4. Sukup on the outside, Nordquist on the bottom. Still going to Ben Sukup. Now Nordquist makes the pass out of 2, and here comes Sukup back on the outside. Nordquist a little bit better on the bottom as they come out of turn number 4. Nordquist takes over the transfer spot. 4 laps to go for Chris Johnson. Now here comes Ben Sukup back on the 07. Trying to get that outside to work for him. Can't quite get the outside to work. Nordquist still in that second and final transfer spot. Down the back straightaway, still Chris Johnson. Nordquist. Ben Sukup, first car out, looking in. Now Nordquist trying to slide for the race lead out of 4. Chris Johnson still with the slide advantage at the line. Now Nordquist back out front, the one machine. Chris Johnson has to slam on the binders. White flags out this time by for Keegan Nordquist. Chris Johnson, your 2 transfers from this B feature. Sukup gets tight in the corner. He loses ground. Now here comes Chris Johnson back to the outside. Checkered flag is out. Keegan Nordquist going to take the B feature win. Chris Johnson going to come up in that second spot. He is going to be in that second and final transfer spot. Ben Sukup, Getchman, Carlson, Brown, and Babcock. Their nights are done, unfortunately. But taking the B feature win, moving on to tonight, Keegan Nordquist. Eric Johnson also in that transfer spot in second. All right, now it's time for your hobby stock. He featured top 4 new transfer on the pole, the double out. That's Shannon Foss, middle to the outside for him of Jace Malosic. Inside row number 2, the 25, Joe Beller. Goes outside to 23, Dakota Span. Inside row number 3, 96 of Gage Cook. To the outside, 58T, that's Tanner Euling. In that 4th row on the inside, the 44, Zachary Sweegard. Outside of him, the 94F of Trevor Frisk. Scheduled to be inside row number 5, the A55, Anson Hawthorne. Outside is the 3K of Christy Rosberg. And rounding out tail end chart, the 69 L of Brandon Luxpick. Top 4 transfer out of your hobby stock B. Green flags out. Here we go. Here we go. Already 3 wide out of turn number 2. Jace Malosic with the advantage. Toss Mitchell, Span, and Beller. Euling, Frisk, Cook, all right there. Oh, contact. Dakota Span keeps her clean, stays green. As Beller now in that 4th and final transfer spot, but here comes Trevor Frisk on the outside. Chase Malosic still showing the way. Span, Euling in 3rd, but watch that 4th, 94. That is your 4th and final transfer spot. Malosic still showing the way. Dakota Span, Euling, Frisk. Your top 4. They do transfer on to tonight's A main event. Rest go home. Miller is the first car outside of tonight's A main event. He's all over the 94F of Trevor Frisk. Moves down the line, trying to look to the inside of Frisk for that 4th and final transfer spot. Malosic giving himself a good 5-6 car length advantage over Dakota Span. And Euling. That battle still heating up for that 4th and final transfer spot. Beller once again taking to the inside. Frisk has that 4th transfer spot. Beller wants it. Down the back straightaway, advantage still goes to Trevor Frisk. 4 laps to go for Chase Malosic. Dakota Span, Euling, and Frisk. Beller still doing whatever he can to try to get around that 94 machine. That is the 4th and final transfer spot. Beller not letting him get out of sight as now Span looks to the inside. He wants to challenge for the race lead. Frisk has pulled away from Joe Beller. 2 laps to go for Chase Malosic. Span, Euling, and Frisk. That is your top 4. They are going on to tonight's A-main event at this time. White flag is going to be out. Next time by for Chase Malosic. Out of 4, as I said, white flag going to be out this time. As they are, bumper to bumper, through 1 and 2, down the back straightaway. Going to have some lap cars to deal with. Not going to happen. Chase Malosic going to take the B feature win. Span going to come home second, Euling in third. And in that 4th and final transfer spot, the 94F of Trevor Frisk. Apparently, didn't see it. So Chase Malosic, Dakota Span, Euling, and Frisk, they are the 4 cars moving on to tonight's A-main event. All right, we're going to do our raffle real quick here for our Northeast Nebraska Motorsports Hall of Fame. If I call your name, come on up. You're going to spin the wheel. All right, that's good enough. Dig one out of there in the middle of there. Dig one out for us there, little man. Bob. All righty. Jeffrey Carr. Oh, body is quit. Jeffrey Carr. Jeffrey Carr. Come on up to the Northeast Motorsports Hall of Fame table. Can I say it maybe over here?
Jeffrey Carr, this is Aunt Brenda. Yeah, I know. I'll spend it for money. You just keep
So Jeff Carr walks away with $50, and whoever finishes 14th in tonight's late model A-main event will also walk away with an extra $50. Fred's make your way down to the flag stand, get some candy from the Candy Man. Also, Aussies have got some giveaways there for the kids. So we get a nice single file line. No pushing, no shoving. Everybody gets a piece of candy. All right, race fans, I do have the 50-50. Please get your orange tickets out, if you would. Orange ticket. Zero two two 520. 0225520. If you got that orange ticket, come on up here to the Pepsi sign. You walked home with $187. So, all right, we're going to run your late model A due to the incoming weather. Zero two two 520. $187. All right, here's your starting lineup for the A main in your first annual Ray Haase tribute race. On the pole, the 18 of Jesse Sobbing, to the outside, the 60 of Anthony Roth. Inside row number 2, the 18J of Jay-Z, that's Justin Zeitner. To the outside, the Z76 of Zach Zeitner. Inside row number 3, the 88 of Ellen Miller. To the outside, the 02 of Matt Haase. Inside row number 4, the 56D, that's Travis Denning. To the outside, the 11X, that's Nelson Volbrecht. Inside row number 5, the 9 of Eric Van Osdal. To the outside, that's the 04, that's Todd Poss Mitchell. Inside row number 6, the 12B, that's going to be Alex Banks. To the outside, the 16H, that's going to be Alex Humphrey. Inside row number 7, the 38X, or 36X of Drew Baker. To the outside, the 77 of Corey Dumper. Inside row number 8, the 36J of Jim Johnson. To the outside, 36, that's going to be Bo Johnson. Inside row number 9 is going to be the 14 of Chase Osborne. The NF1 of Keegan Nordquist outside of him. Inside row number 10 in the final row, 4X of Caleb Jasperson. And your final starter, the 7, Chris Johnson. So we're going to bring these guys out onto the front stretch. Give you guys a quick chance here. We're going to go through one little quick spiel here on the 4th of July weekend. And then with your guys' help, we're going to get these guys to get their motors started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at all these drivers. This is your field for your first ever Ray Haase tribute race. This is Independence Weekend for the greatest nation on the planet, and we have the greatest fans in this nation right here at Off-Road Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for some live? I've got 3 things to say. Bless our troops. God bless America. Drivers, I need your help right here. Drivers, it's your chance. And they do have the car Ray Haase drove in the 50s. They will pilot the first ever Ray Haase tribute race, a feature event. All right, 25 big laps in your late Model A main event. Don't forget, we are going to be weekly on Dirt Crown TV each and every week. Next Friday night, we'll be right back here. All right, looks like we're going to go green flag next time by. We hurry up and get this A feature in as we are racing the weather as well. In the Cup First Annual Ray Haase Tribute Race underway. Lap number 1 going to JZ Justin Zeitner. Anthony Roth in hot pursuit in second. Jesse Saubing third. Zach Zeitner in fourth. Heading in that fifth spot in that 56D. Now Zach Zeitner and Belling still battling it out for that fifth spot. Now Saubing to the inside of Roth. Roth battling back on the outside. Races for second. Saubing now going to try to slide into his teammate Justin Zeitner, not getting the pass. Zeitner takes back the race lead. Battle for teammates up front between Jesse Saubing and Justin Zeitner. Zeitner and Saubing still battling out for that front spot. 20 laps to go. Saubing able to get the slight advantage out of turn number 4. New leader, Jesse Saubing. The night is over for the 118 Keegan Norquist. He pulls it in the infield. Our race leader already battled lap traffic. Jesse Saubing. Justin Zeitner. Good night for the Getchman cars. Roth in third. Denning in fourth. Miller up to fifth. Toss Mitchell up to sixth. Race leader continued to be Jesse Saubing. Justin Zeitner. Anthony Roth, Denning way up on the high side. Evan Miller and Ted Pospisil battling out for that fifth spot. Caution on the Speedway. Great race up front between teammates. The 99 or the 18, I guess, of Jesse Saubing. The 18J of Justin Zeitner. Anthony Roth right there in third. Denning in fourth. Evan Miller up to fifth. Zach Zeitner back to sixth. Tad Mitchell is in 7th, Matt Haase in 8th, Nelson Volbrecht 9th, and Eric Van Osdal is your top 10. 17 laps to go. Front 2 cars are Getchman Motorsports cars. Anthony Roth in 3rd. Denning is in 4th. Your national points leader sitting in that 5th spot, Evan Miller from Sevilius, Illinois. Zach Zeitner, Tad Mitchell, Matt Haase, Nelson Volbrecht, Eric Van Osdal, and now Corey Dumpert is in your top 10. Debris is picked up. Looks like we got one little tire to move here real quick. We'll be back to green flag. Get these guys lined up here quick. Again, Jesse Saubing showing the way in the 18. Justin Zeitner, 18J. Anthony Roth on the outside. Saubing back as far as 3rd. Turn around, worked back up his way up front on the bottom. Now his teammate Justin Zeitner has the bottom. Here we go, back to racing, 17 laps to go. Now Anthony Roth gets to the inside of Zeitner. Zeitner not very happy with the move from Roth. Oh, it slides up, shuts the door. Anthony Roth pulls a crossover. Now Justin Zeitner pulls a crossover. That battle for second heating up between Roth and Zeitner. Now the back straightaway. Now we're going to battle for 4th and 5th. Denning and Haase. Jesse Saubing continuing to pull away. Oh, Haase goes around. I got to hurry up, get these guys lined back up, get back to green flag racing. 16 laps to go. Jesse Saubing showing the way. Anthony Roth 2nd, Justin Zeitner 3rd. Haase back and forth, Mitchell 5th. Zach Zeitner sitting in 6th. Nelson Volbrecht, Corey Dumpert, Alex Humphrey, Evan Miller, Alex Banks, Drew Baker, Eric Johnson, Van Osdal, Johnson, Haase, Osborne, Johnson, Jasperson, and Denning. Denning getting called involved. Must have had a little contact with the 0-2. He goes to the rear. Single file, 16 laps to go. There they come out of turn number 4. Back to green, 16 laps to go. Oh, here we go. Look at Justin Zeitner. Slick move by JZ to get back up to second. 15 laps to go for Jesse Sobbing. Oh, closing the wall over turn 1 and 2. They stay clean, we stay green. Sobbing still showing only 14 laps to go. Now Mitchell moves up into the inside of Anthony Roth, challenger that third spot. Sobbing still showing away, 13 laps to go. Roth now battling back on the outside. He gets a good run. Zach Seitner now making his way through the field to 76. Making his way down through the field, 12 laps to go for Jesse Sobbing, Justin Zeitner, Ted Mitchell, Anthony Roth. Oh, Ozzy now gets underneath Dumpert. 11 laps to go for Jesse Sobbing. Sobbing still showing away to Anthony Roth and Mitchell still battling out for third. Justin Zeitner still in that second spot. Johnson pulls off the racetrack. Lap traffic going to be playing a factor. 9 laps to go for Jesse Sobbing. Will lap traffic play a factor? 8 laps to go. Sobbing all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. Zach Seitner off the gas. Runs on the 76. He gets off the racetrack. We're going to stay green. 7 laps to go for Jesse Sobbing. Justin Zeitner trying to catch his teammate Jesse Sobbing. 5 laps to go this time by for Jesse Sobbing. Johnson off the pace. Johnson off the pace. Caution on the Speedway. Lap traffic was playing a factor. Justin Zeitner slowly catching Jesse Sobbing. This changes it all. Sobbing has nobody in front of him now. Great night for the Getchman cars as they are 1 and 2. As Todd Mitchell is in that third spot. Corey Dumpert fourth. All right, safety crew's off. We're going to do a green flag next time by. Finish it up. 7 laps to go. Jesse Sobbing, Justin Zeitner, Tad Postmitchell, Corey Dumpert, Matt Haase, Anthony Roth, Alex Humphrey, and Evan Miller. Back to green. Here we go. 7 laps to go. Here comes Dumpert on the outside. 6 laps to go for Jesse Sobbing. Zeitner throws it to the bottom. Can't get it to stick. Now Corey Dumpert up to third. 5 laps to go for Jesse Sobbing. Justin Zeitner, Corey Dumpert. Now Justin Zeitner once again trying to peek to the inside. Can't get the run off of turn number 2. Sobbing maintains the race lead. 3 laps to go. For Jesse Sobbing, Justin Zeitner. Justin Zeitner driving the wheels off that 18J trying to catch Jesse Sobbing. 2 laps to go. White flag is out. This time by. Final time around for Jesse Sobbing. Jesse Sobbing down the back straightaway for the final time. He's going to take the inaugural Matt Haase Tribute Race. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Sobbing. Justin Zeitner, Corey Dumpert, Matt Haase, Tad Postmitchell, Alex Humphrey, Anthony Roth. One more time, he hails from Malvern, Iowa. He normally drives the 18. The first ever Ray Haase Tribute Race 18, Jesse Sobbing. I'll tell you what, great night again for the Getchman cars. As Jesse Sobbing, Justin Zeitner, Corey Dumpert. When he gets out of the car, ladies and gentlemen, let him hear you. 1 and 2 from Malvern, Iowa. A lot of money going back home to Malvern, Iowa. We'll take it back across the border. Corey Dumpert, great run to 77. He's out of the car. He's a nice 3rd place finish. Matt Haase in that 4th place. Great run by all 4 cars. The 18J, Justin Zeitner, JC, coming home in that 2nd spot. Just couldn't quite chase down the teammate. Picking up the first ever Ray Haase Tribute Race. That will conclude tonight's show. We will not be able to get the rest of it in due to Mother Nature. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is from Malvern, Iowa, Jesse Sobbing. Picking up the inaugural Ray Haase Memorial Tribute Race. Great job between him and teammate Justin Zeitner. 2 very fast drivers. You put them in a shopping cart and they'd be some of the 2 fastest ones. So we apologize. This will be the last feature of the night. The rest of the night has been postponed. All right. As you heard from the young lady, we will run double features next Friday night, July 12th. We ask everybody, please be safe. If you can't hear us in the pits, please load up. Please get out while you still can. Hopefully, everybody makes a safe trip home. I hope all of you have a very happy, very safe 4th of July. Well, again, we will see you right back here for double features on July 12th. Mother Nature not playing cards tonight, but at least we got the main race in. Hope everybody has a happy and safe 4th of July. Until then, we'll see you all July 12th right here. Off-Road Speedway double features.